Attention, this is Gazbot. Are you looking for Power Ranger news? Well, this.
The news knowledge zone.
Hey, what's up? I am Gazbot for Action Activate. We're talking Power Ranger news today, and with me, as always,
Big Dawg Defender, ready to roll.
awesome. We're ready to roll, and you are ready to roll, and we're a couple of Autobots. We're going to transform and roll out. And it is the week of March 21st, 2020. There was no new episode of Beast Morphers this week, so that's a bummer.
Yep.
Would have been episode, 5?
Yes, yeah. Episode 5 is going to air next week, but we still have a couple things to talk about, and specifically some Power Rangers related stuff you can watch, which is kind of exciting that we'll dive into in a little bit.
Okay, I'm excited to see it. So let's start off with like a little bit of a bummer, and that is that Hasbro, the company that now owns Power Rangers, the figures, the toys, the show, the whole kit and caboodle, they are shutting down globally for the next month. Now, what this means, practically speaking, is that we are probably going to not see the next season as soon as we would like, because they've announced that the casting, which they had started doing, is going to be suspended temporarily. Also, a lot of the stuff that's been announced for the Lightning Collection, not the stuff that's already shipped or that's going to be shipping right now, who knows when that ship date will come, because the warehouses aren't going to necessarily be shipping and the sculptors and the artists aren't going to be working. So kind of everything Power Rangers related coming from Hasbro, which is the toys and the shows primarily, is all likely going to be pushed back. This isn't the announcement they made. The announcement they made that we're shutting down for a month. But to me, that means everything's pushed back a month from whatever we expect. Exactly. Yeah. So that's a bummer. The upside is if you were young and athletic enough that you were thinking of trying out, you get an extra month to practice and make a good demo reel. So, do some push-ups, do some flips, and do your kias and send it in, and good luck.
Yeah.
All right, well, you had an idea for the next thing you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah. One thing that's Power Rangers related but not related to Hasbro is I know, especially in the last couple of months, we've been talking about a lot fan films and fan series out, and with some time to catch up on those. Also, from Crimson Vision Studios, they released another minute video regarding the rise of the Ninja, and it explains the big bad they're going to have in that. That has Ninja Steel Ranger William Schofelt in there, and definitely something to check out, along with another Power Rangers Psychos, which is specifically about Psycho Rangers, that released a trailer as well. So check those out if you haven't already, and if you haven't checked out any of the other fan series that we've talked about, go watch those on YouTube. Go check out our videos that we've talked about. Highly recommend them, and definitely a good thing to binge.
Absolutely. I actually haven't had a chance to watch the new thing they just released, but I've been following their Instagram, and there's a lot of awesome stuff with what is his name, Colin the Blur and William Schufelt interacting as their various Rangers, both officially like behind the scenes stuff, and then just goofing around stuff like doing piggyback rides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So worth checking out, especially if everything else is going to be delayed. This is something you could jump into and have a little extra Power Ranger content, which is actual Power Ranger content that's just not officially licensed, but it has some actual Power Ranger actors in it as well. So there you go.
Yes. And as of today, there was a post kind of teasing that I'm totally forgetting her name, but Wild Force White Ranger has the script for the episode that she's in, and she was kind of teasing it in a little boomerang like this. So she's got it in hand. She's going over stuff, and that's a kind of part of the crossover I'm really looking forward to.
Alyssa, oh man, I'm blanking on her name.
I know.
It's
Alyssa
something.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out later.
Tell us in the comments.
Tell us in the comments.
We clearly can't remember.
The other thing that we were going to talk about isn't specifically Power Rangers. In fact, it's not Power Rangers at all. It's kind of not the opposite, but it's the forerunner, the brethren, not the brethren. They would be the brethren. It's the family. It's the godfather of Power Rangers. It's Super Sentai. It's Tokusatsu. It's Tokushoutsu. What is Tokushoutsu? Well, for those that don't know, Shout Factory is a company that makes DVDs and Blu-rays, which is not a very popular thing nowadays, but they do specifically cult classics and underappreciated horror movies and TV series that never got put out. And they have been, among other things, been putting out Super Sentai series that were not adapted to Power Rangers, and some that were. And so they are now having a streaming service called Toku Shoutsu, hence the shout in the middle of it. And they're going to be not just streaming Super Sentai, but Kamen Rider and a few other shows. I don't have a full list in front of me. One of the Ultraman, I know they're doing, I think Leo and a few others. And you can see here they're really pushing Kamen Rider. That's the first one. And so Kamen Rider coming over here is kind of a big deal because Kamen Rider was known as Masked Rider back when Power Rangers hit big, but it never quite caught on the same way as Power Rangers did. But in
Yeah.
Japan, it's as popular or possibly more popular. A lot of American fans like Masked Rider more than Super Sentai, which is Power Rangers
Yep.
over there. So, and I'm an Ultraman fan too. So all of these getting mixed over, and I think they're bringing over some other even more obscure stuff. But those are the three biggies that most people would know.
Yeah.
Um, and this is going to be airing where?
On Pluto TV.
What channel is that? Like 104?
No, it's actually online, so you can subscribe to it. So full transparency, Gazbot and I have not subscribed to it. We just found out about it within the last week and a half. It's definitely something I want to check out, and the reason I tied it specifically into Power Rangers is when we were taking a look at the website beforehand, it would cycle through kind of little clips from various Sentai series. One that popped up was Time Ranger.
Time
now,
Ranger's on the screen right now, yeah.
Oh, perfect. I can't see the screen, which is why I did. But I know when I've looked at reviews or talked to people who have seen both Power Rangers and Sentai, two series that they said kind of follow a little more closely than others when it comes to both the Sentai and the Power Rangers is Time Ranger and Time Force, and then is it Gal Ranger and Wild Force?
Gal Ranger is Wild Force, yeah.
Okay, good. Those two I know are ones that are similar and also very close in time. So that's one that if I get the opportunity, I definitely want to see how close the comparison is. I've seen when Quantum Ranger comes on, I've seen a side by side of when it's happening in the Sentai Not, and oh man, it's like almost frame for frame.
And side tangent, you could find a lot of those comparisons on YouTube where someone takes like the introduction to the Zeo Gold Ranger Pyramidas with King Ranger from like I love watching those.
It's so cool.
I also like I said, I have not subscribed yet, but I just put it on my screen because you could just go to Pluto TV and it has commercials. So I don't know that you even have to pay or how it works exactly.
It's probably like Hulu where you sign
like
up.
There's because right now it's playing right there, and it looks like they're having a Time Ranger marathon. Because actually, I'll put the screen back up. It looks like the next 4 or 5 shows, it's all Time Ranger. So my guess is they're doing just a full thing through. And actually on Pluto, if you look up here, there's a whole Naruto channel, an anime channel, a gamer channel. Like there's a lot of cool stuff on here. But of course, we're focusing on Tokusatsu. And Time Ranger right now. I mean, when you get off, it's on. Looks like episode 4 or 5. You could just start watching right now for free.
I have to play Settlers of Catan after this, otherwise I would.
Okay.
But it's something. Hey, I'm trying to be social and have some time playing a board game or two.
Fair enough. Now, regarding Shout TV and Pluto, and also kind of regarding Steve Andrino, I don't know if you know this, but Steve has said, and that's why I brought it back as a joke. He has said to me that I look a bit like Jason Narvi, who played Skull on Power Rangers. I don't know that I agree. I don't disagree. I mean, he's not a bad-looking guy. I don't mind the comparison. But why do I bring this up? To just talk about how I might have a passing resemblance to a low-level comedic celebrity from the 90s? No.
Possibly, because you're a bit narcissistic.
I'm a huge narcissist. I'm not a bit narcissist. Huge narcissist. But I would aim higher. I mean, Brad Pitt maybe. But connected with what we were just talking about and connected to Power Rangers directly. Shout TV, Shout Factory TV, Pluto. Jason Arvey, Skull himself, will be working on a Tokusatsu show. Let me be clear. He is not going to be a character in a Tokusatsu show. It's going to be a talk show about Tokusatsu where he will, I guess, host it or whatever. And I was talking about this, I think last week, where I was saying, oh, well, it's funny because he was Skull on Power Rangers and there's no Japanese counterpart, but he did do the voice of one of the vehicles, I think the motorcycle on Kamen Rider Black.
Oh, nice.
Which was adapted to Masked Rider. So he did.
Black RX.
Black RX, thank you. Yeah. So he does have that connection, both the American side and the adapted side, and and plus he's just a comedic guy, just like his partner Bulk. So I am kind of more excited for that than the Sentai stuff because I have a lot of those Sentai already. So this is something I don't have that's new just for this kind of new platform. So in a way, it excites. It's fresh content as opposed to just availability of old content. So I find that exciting. But I think
It
that's all I
is.
had for that. I think there was one other thing you wanted to talk about, though, right?
Yes. So right now, obviously, a lot of people are binging kind of different shows or maybe diving into some comics that they have in a box. I know that's something I plan on doing soon.
Mm.
And I watched a really comprehensive video recently from a YouTube channel called Professor Thorgy. So if you're really into comics, I highly recommend you check him out. And he was talking about different series that he recommends and how if you have Comixology Unlimited, how you can read X amount of that comic for free on there. Now, I haven't done a personal deep dive into what Power Ranger stuff is on there, but one thing he brought up that kind of sparked my interest for bringing it up today is the Ninja Turtles comic from IDW. He was saying there's at least 5 trade paperbacks worth on there that are quote unquote free once you
Mm.
sign up for Comixology Unlimited for $6 a month. Now, I don't know how many different services you guys have or budgets or things like that, but I know for me, I have a lot of trade paperbacks and physical comics. And if a average physical comic's $4 and this is $6, you read 2 comics, it's paid for itself, quote
Yeah.
unquote. So that's something
Not good for
definitely
collecting, but good for reading.
exactly.
Yeah.
If your
Yeah.
sole goal is to just get as much content as you can for the lowest price, highly recommend this. If you're more on the collector side, obviously kind of choose which avenue works best for you. And then also budget wise, I think $6 a month is really good for as much comics as you have access
I'm
to for
uh
that.
I'm pulling up Power Rangers right now to see what comes up. It looks like they have the Justice League Power Rangers. They have the Power Rangers movie. They have volume two of volume six of Go Go. I mean, it looks pretty comprehensive. It looks like they have. Oh, they even have. Do they have the Turtles even up here? It looks like they have a lot. Yeah, they have. Looks like the Turtle
Yep.
series. They've got most of it. It seems. Some of it you
Yeah.
have to have the unlimited subscription. But let
Mhm.
me just click this. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers versus Turtles. Subscribe to series. So yeah, I don't know the pricing, what is available at what point, but it does look
Yeah.
like they have just about everything on here.
So what it is, just from a high level, is Comixology is something you can sign up for free, and then you could buy comics digitally through there. I'm sure they have a handful that you can read for free. But
Hmm.
Comixology Unlimited is the subscription service where it's an extra $6 a month. It's essentially a premium version of that. So certain comics you can get for a cheaper price versus your regular subscription, and then others are just included. So,
Gotcha.
like for example, the IDW Turtles books, he was saying you know between 5 and 10 volumes of that for free included in the subscription, and then you could get the rest onward. And with that series being at 120 issues, I think right now, if you could
Wow.
get 40 or 50 of those already included, you're way ahead of
Yeah.
the game. So
Yeah. Especially if you're a quick reader or you're binge reading. Yeah.
exactly. So you could do that on various devices, phone, tablet, I'm sure laptop as well. And yeah, something I recommend. Also, if you love a good deal and Power Ranger stuff, I know we brought it up last, but Gazbot has some prints up on his Etsy store that you should
Oh.
take a look at. Specifically, one that I need to pre-order still is the full In Space Ranger team. That definitely sparked my fancy, and obviously the headshots continue to expand. VR Troopers and Common
Yep.
Rider, Gaim, and etc. So if you haven't already taken, go take a look there. As far as I know, the sale's still going on.
uh,
Gaz can confirm since he is the one who does it.
Not for much longer. I wasn't gonna bring it up. I mean, thanks for bringing it up. I already brought it up last week, so I wasn't gonna beat a dead horse over it. There's lots of stuff on there, but the pre-orders specifically is the sale. I have it up on the screen now since you're talking about it. I have 8 up for pre-order. This is the Power Rangers in Space one that he was talking about that has the full team. And the way it works is normally when you buy a print for me, you're gonna get it in a couple days to a week at the most. Um, with these, it might take a few weeks because they're pre-orders because I haven't even put in the print order yet. So I have to put the print order in. I have to get them. I have to repackage them, send them out to you. But this print, for example, would normally cost $20. If you pre-order it, it only costs $10 because it helps me know how many, gives me an idea of how many I should order for the pre-order. But that being said, the pre-order window is closing Sunday night, Monday morning, either before I go to bed Sunday night or Monday morning. That's going to be the end of it. So I'm going to put this up today, Saturday night. So if you're watching this Sunday, it's literally the last day to get any of this stuff at half price. Afterwards, then it'll be full price and it'll be not for like a month or so.
Still worth getting. If you like a deal, I recommend pulling the trigger now if you can.
Well, thanks. It's very kind of you. And with that, it was kind of a light news week, but we made it work. We're at 16
Yeah.
minutes, so not too terrible. We should be back next week. If you watch the review shows, we should be back next week for episode 5.
Yep.
Otherwise, this is all we're putting up this week. And yeah, I guess that's it. And so I'm going to be Gazbot.
I hopefully will be the big Dawg Defender, but only time will tell.
True. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the store? Do you want to go to the rodeo? Do you want to go
I'd prefer to go to the power.
to the power?
See you guys later.
See ya. End credits. There's the end credits. Nice window. They can't see you dancing.
I know, but you can.
Can I? Oh wait, they can see you dancing now. All right, we're gonna end it there. Means that likely. I'm gonna have to cut that out. Sorry.
Nah, just leave it.
I'll put it at the end after the credits.